You're not going to believe some of the surprising ways you can offend people in other countries. It's a lot easier than you may think. Usually you'll offend someone by misunderstanding the cultural communication norms found in a country. Given that communication is 55% body language, 38% voice tone, and 7% spoken word, these misunderstandings shouldn't be that surprising. Nevertheless, you should still watch out for them. Languages and communication norms vary across different countries and societies, and if you don't learn how these norms differ, things can get interesting. As a note, since List 25 is based in the US, other countries to us means countries outside the US. With that said, I'm Mike with List 25, and let's check out these 25 surprising ways to offend people in other countries. (25) In some countries, finishing your meal indicates that your host failed to provide you with enough food. Thailand, the Philippines, and Russia are among those countries. So, unlike in the US, leave a little food on your plate. Although, you should probably do that in the US too. I should do that. 24. In Bulgaria, nodding your head means no, and shaking your head side to side means yes. You know, the exact opposite of the United States. So, good luck with that. 23. You know how you can crook your finger to someone? Yeah, don't do that in the Philippines. It's how they call their dogs. Also in Japan, that means death, so don't do it there either. 22. Putting your hand up to stop someone is pretty common in many parts of the world. Not in Greece. It's a pretty big insult there, dating back to the Byzantine era when people were allowed to smear poop or charcoal in prisoners' faces, using their open palms. How is this stuff a society hangs onto for hundreds of years? 21. In small countries with social welfare systems such as the Netherlands, asking what you do for a living is considered classist and rude. In the US, it's one of the most common icebreakers. Me, I'm a YouTuber for a living. You probably already knew that. 20. In Finland, crossing your arms is considered purposefully arrogant. Granted, it can mean arrogance in the US too, but no one's gonna start a bar fight about it here. Usually. 19. Don't eat with your left hand in the Middle East, India, or most countries in Africa. In these countries, the left hand is traditionally associated with wiping oneself in the bathroom. 18. Don't say you're from America. Okay, first of all, the US isn't the only country in the Americas. Our country is the United States of America, not just America. North and South America are continents. Secondly, if you go to one of these other countries in, say, South America and describe yourself as American when you really mean you're from the United States, it's really haughty and rude, implying that South America isn't worthy of the title. Not only are we not the only country in the world, we're not the only country in the Americas. 17. In most Arab countries, refusing food or refreshments is incredibly rude, even if you aren't hungry or thirsty. In the US, this just might seem polite. No, don't worry, don't bother yourself. I just want to visit. But that would be considered so very rude there. 16. Don't give the three-fingered Hunger Games salute in Thailand. It's outlawed due to becoming a symbol of the opposition during the country's military coup in 2012. 15. Devil horns are common at most rock concerts in the US, and is the University of Texas's signature hand gesture. But in some places, Portugal and Brazil for example, it can indicate that someone's wife has been less than faithful. 14. Tipping is not common outside of the US and can actually be considered rude. In Japan and South Korea, it's an insult. 13. Don't bring wine to your host in Germany. While in the US it's pretty customary to bring a bottle of wine, in Germany it can be taken as a slight against the wine your hosts are providing you. 12. In some Asian cultures, Japan and China for example, you're expected to refuse a gift several times before accepting it. To accept a gift right away is greedy and rude. 11. In Thailand, it's a social no-no to pat someone, even a child, on the head. That's because Buddhists believe that's where the spirit lives, and you can't pat someone's spirit. It's not nice. 10. In the US, we're taught that making eye contact during a conversation conveys sincerity. But in some places, like France, it can be considered a first move romantically or sexually. And in places like Brazil, avoiding eye contact is a way of showing deference to someone.
9.
In the US, a thumbs up is a good sign. In parts of Australia, it means up your bum.
8.
In the US, people generally sit in the back of a cab, Uber, or Lyft. But in Australia, Scotland, the Netherlands, and New Zealand, that may be considered rude and egalitarian.
7.
In South Korea, it's considered rude to wave at a person or summon a cab by waving with your palm out. That's how they summon dogs there.
6.
Dressing too casually, flip-flops, sweatpants, wrinkly clothing, yoga pants in public, is seen as disrespectful and sloppy in many European countries and Japan. Although who the hell is wearing flip-flops, sweatpants, wrinkly clothing, and yoga pants all at the same time? That's just not fashion.
5.
In the UK, Australia, Ireland, and New Zealand, throwing up a peace sign with the palm facing you is not seen as peaceful. It's actually the same as giving the middle finger in the US. Why? Legend says the two-fingered salute started with longbowmen fighting for England during the 100 Years' War. When the French would capture the archers, they would cut off those two fingers, making them ineffective. Therefore, showing those two fingers still being intact was a gesture of defiance against the enemy. However, there's no historical sources to support this legend.
4.
When in Turkey, never point the sole of your foot towards a person. Also, don't put your hands in your pockets or on your hips, as this is a sign of disrespect.
3.
In Vietnam, crossed fingers is a symbol of a specific female body part, so don't do that there, unless you're intending to be vulgar. But you shouldn't go to another country as a visitor and be vulgar, just so we're clear.
2.
Don't laugh with your mouth open in Japan. It's considered rude and horse-like. Well, okay then. Conversely, in India, they have groups that meet together and just laugh out loud because laughter is very good for you. I should move to India. I'm just gonna laugh the whole time. Yeah, let's go to India. You guys wanna go to India?
Sure. Close your mouth.
That's creepy.
1.
Being late and being on time. In Germany, if you're just a few minutes late, it's considered very rude, as if you value your time more than others. But in places like Argentina, if you show up on time, it can be considered a bit rude, almost like being early. Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button in the bottom right so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these 3 videos here, or just head to our website at list25.com.